What's up, guys? Coming back to another video here in the garage, and what we've been working on lately is trying to get this hood lined up on the 240. So if we take a look, a common issue on S13s and actually on S14s as well, the hood hinges are not the sturdiest and strongest things out there, especially after 20-30 years of going up and down like a 240's hood does. These tend to get bent, and so when my hood was closed, it stuck up in the rear and I hated it. It was awful, bothered me so much. And so I was like trying to figure out, I was asking guys, I'm like, is this because the Honda hood mod, which has occurred to these hinges? Basically you like grind that piece or bend that piece so it can actually extend further than it's designed to, and so you can actually rest it back, but it's a little sketchy because the hood rests on the windshield, which is not cool. But it is so convenient for working on the car though sometimes. But if you can see back here on this edge of the bracket, it actually gets bent up this way, which allows the hood to sit up a little bit when the hood is closed. So I went ahead and actually hammered the crap out of those hinges, got them to bend pretty much back down where I think they're supposed to go. However, in doing so, it has slid the hood forward for some reason, and I can't figure out why it is so far forward, because now it does not fit into the hood latch, and it is very bothersome. Also, the hood hinges have been tilted a little bit to that side of the engine bay, and so I was actually starting to rub the wrap off a little bit on that fender over there, and so I kind of bent them. I took the hood back off, bent them over, and got it as close as possible as I can get it, and the gaps are looking pretty good. Before, this side was awful, like you could see all the way in there and just looked terrible. But I'm still having a tricky time getting it to line up. It's still a little ski-wampus, and so I have to deal with bending these brackets, and it's making it super tricky, and I'm having a hard time getting it to actually latch. So I'm going to continue to work on that, but for today's video, I've actually had a brand new OEM in the box fuel pump for the S13. It's been sitting on the shelf, and in my late night thoughts, shower thoughts, daydreams, I often think about why this car misfires the way it does. And I started to think, it seems to be fuel related. Maybe it's not getting fuel. And then I started to think, struggles when it goes uphill. And then I thought to myself, well, what happens in the tank when the car goes up a hill? The fuel sloshes to the back of the tank. Maybe it's missing the pickup. And then I thought to myself, last time I pulled the 240 out of the driveway, I slowed at the end of the driveway, and I realized that I've always heard a clanking noise in the fuel tank. I'm wondering if there's something wrong with my fuel pickup. Maybe it has holes in it, maybe it has a crack in it, maybe it's dangling around and not connected. Maybe I've got an issue in the fuel tank. Back when I was building the car, putting the car first back together, I did take the fuel pump out because we were having that fuel pump issue, but it turned out to just be the relay. I'm wondering if maybe I didn't put it back correctly, or maybe it wasn't correct in the first place. Either way, I think I'm finally going to put this new fuel pump to use, drop it in the tank, check the pickup, check the wiring, and maybe, hopefully, I'm feeling pretty good about this, guys. Maybe we finally fix the misfire on the S13. That would be sick. If at the end of the video I'm telling you that we fixed it, man, I'm gonna be super pumped. But that is gonna be what we're working on in today's video. Let's get it. Alright, so I got the fuel lines all undone. We've also got all the bolts, screws undone for the fuel pump assembly. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it out and see if we can observe anything as we pull it out. But also, even if I just kind of, like, this makes a lot of noise, kind of similar to what I hear. Maybe it just like moves around too much. I'm not sure, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pull it out and see what it looks like. Got the fuel pump assembly all out, and honestly, nothing seems very much out of place. Yeah, just looking at everything here. Removed the isolator, about ready to pull this pump out. Looking at the fuel pickup, which is the part I was most concerned about, and it's hard to see inside, and I'm not sure what this is supposed to feel like. It is definitely dirty. I'm gonna see if the other one comes with a new one of these. If not, I'm gonna look into kind of tearing this apart and cleaning this. But basically our next thing to do is let's go ahead and crack open the new one and then start to unbolt the old one, and then maybe it's just a faulty pump, who knows. That'd be nice, but man, everything looks pretty okay. I did fail to mention earlier that another big symptom is when the car has more fuel in the tank, it runs better. So when the car is lower on gas, like I'm like around a quarter tank, misfire is way more significant. Fill it up, everything above 3/4 of tank, it runs best. Anything below that, it starts to run crappy. So another sign leading to the fuel situation. Maybe I have a leak in the line somewhere. I'm not sure. I've never really seen a leak underneath, or there's really are no drips when I let it idle. But so let's go ahead and crack open the new one and see what it looks like. Okay, so here's the new fuel pump, and it does not come with a new fuel pickup or the fuel sock. So now would be the time to tear apart the other one, inspect it, clean it, and then we'll get to installing the new one. So let's go. All right, so we got the new fuel pump all mocked up, ready to go. We've got a new hose, new clamps. Had to reuse the old fuel sock. I mean, I could have ran to the store and grabbed one, but I just decided to throw this on there. I cleaned up the best I could, and it's cleaned out pretty well, aside from that little bit of blood that I got on it. It even came with this pretty cool beer cooler thing that goes around the fuel pump here, so that's pretty nice. Keep my beverage cool here. And we're gonna toss it in there. I unfortunately do have to run different wires because these ones here, the factory ones, just don't fit on the terminals on the new fuel pump there. They're too small. I considered drilling them out, but man, then I'd never be able to use these again, which at this point I'm not really gonna be able to. I'm kind of committing to the new fuel pump at this point, when really this was kind of just sort of a test. But I mean, I'll probably just leave it in there as is. So maybe we will just drill those out rather than crimping on these other new ones. And also, does anyone want to explain to me the science behind why the spark or the electricity current going through these wires does not ignite the fuel? I know that it doesn't actually spark, it's just current through the wires, and that's why. But still, it is literally so crazy that you just have electricity running through fuel. We're gonna go ahead and get this finished up and then toss in the car, go for a rip, and hopefully we have some improvement here with this new fuel pump. All right, we've got the new fuel pump assembly ready to go in the car. Fuel pump fit in there very nicely, fit down there pretty good with the sock there. And then we've got the new wires crimped on, new hose there. This thing's ready to go in the car, so let's pop it in there and see what it does. I've just discovered something potentially very exciting. So if you guys look in there, there's that weird bowl thing with a like that white plastic piece. If I reach my hand in there, it's completely loose. I believe this has something to do with the baffle for the tank, but also that's really weird because it looks somewhat similar. Okay, so let me back up. I did some research on baffling, and apparently it comes loose in this tank pretty easily, and it can move around, and then it can bump up against your fuel pump, and it can short out your fuel pump. A lot of guys are saying they are blowing fuel pump fuses and stuff like that. I haven't necessarily blown a fuse yet, but it is possible that I'm just shorting out the fuel pump as I hit an incline, or the fuel pump moves around. And so a lot of guys just rip that out of there, which I think I'm going to do. The baffling, you can see it right over there with those circles. It is a little bit loose as well, but I don't think it's come all the way undone, and I want to try and keep that in there. Also, this bowl potentially can starve if the fuel gets sucked out of this bowl pretty quickly. So I don't know what's going on with this thing, but honestly, I'm just gonna tear it out and see if that also improves our situation at all. So this could potentially be a very big discovery for the 240 here. Guys, we freaking did it. We fixed the S13. It is running fantastic. I cannot believe it. I can row through the gears. I can go through the RPM range, something I have not been able to do whatsoever with this car so far. It has taken me just about exactly 1 year since the purchase date, 1 year minus a month, so 11 months to get this thing actually fully functioning, and I am absolutely stoked, guys. This is freaking awesome. It was the fuel pump. Fuel pump has a bowl that surrounds the pump and keeps fuel there when you're kind of turning around. It has like a baffle bowl type thing, and I guess it is a common issue, especially when you got old 30-year-old tanks like this car has. That bowl will actually break loose from being mounted to the gas tank, and that thing is metal, and when it comes in contact with the fuel pump assembly, it actually shorts out the fuel pump, and the fuel pump cannot work properly. So I yanked that thing out of there. I honestly could have fixed it as is. I could have just popped a couple magnets and held it in place, but I just really did not want to worry about having that issue anymore. We'll just have to keep the tank full on the S13 until I fix that and get some sort of better baffle system. But I am so freaking stoked, guys. We got the S13 working. And then at the beginning of the video, I talked about how I was trying to get the gaps in the hood fitment to be a lot better. While the gaps side to side are getting close to where I want them, they're looking pretty good. Here in the front, around the headlight section, we still have a bit of an issue. And this gap is much larger than it was before, because when I bent the hinges back where they're supposed to be, it has shifted the hood back a little bit. So I think I'm gonna have to do more work to the actual hood hinges, maybe do a little bit of modifications more there to get the hood to slide back forward. It sits down flush where I want it to be now, this way, but it's just back too much, and it makes the hood not close properly, and there's that kind of bad gap behind the headlights. So that is something that I will continue to work on and look forward to that looking a lot better. But all in all, I am absolutely stoked because the S13 is working properly. And dude, the thing rips. The KA, not a bad engine. I think mine has maybe been rebuilt or maybe a poor man's rebuild, but it is running flawlessly, knock on wood. So this is freaking awesome. I'm actually super stoked because I'm going to be starting the very next video literally right after I get done with this video. I'm heading straight up the canyon, hitting some canyon roads. I cannot wait anymore. I'm gonna finish this video right now and then head up the canyon to start the next video, so you guys can look forward to that. But we've done it. We solved the case of the cursed. Took us 11 months, but we finally figured it out, and now we can rip the K for a while. So super stoked. If you guys are stoked, please leave a comment, like, comment, subscribe. That'd be awesome, and appreciate anyone that has been watching and following along with the build. We finally solved that misfire issue, and the car feels amazing. Super awesome. All right, peace out, guys. I forgot to mention, but the evidence for the bad fuel pump and it grounding out on that bowl aligns with all the symptoms that we were having before. When I drove this thing, I had to absolutely baby the throttle, feather the throttle. Any type of load or acceleration caused the car to misfire even more. Well, it makes sense. That's going to make the bowl float back just a little bit in the tank, and it's going to make contact with the fuel pump assembly. I'm going up a hill, that's going to tilt back and make contact with the fuel pump assembly. It's crazy to me how early on I heard the noise in the gas tank and didn't think to check that, or it just didn't click until one random night. The thought popped into my brain, fix the entire issue. I cannot believe this.